Hello everyone, so I'm here today to do the third part of our in-depth conversation with Rainier, and we are discussing The Great Offshore Grounds by Vanessa Veselka. So first of all, if you don't know what these videos are, they are videos in which we buddy read a book together, and I first made a video and asked some questions to Rainier, and then Rainier made a video asking some questions to me, and this is the third video in the series in which I answer Rainier's questions. This is a video format that Sarah from Hardcover Hearts came up with, so show her all the love. But also, if you have not watched the previous two videos, I would recommend you go back and watch them. I will put them in the description because otherwise you will not understand what I'm referring to. And the last disclaimer I want to say is that the first video does not have spoilers, but the second and the third video do. So I'm going to give some spoilers in this video, just because I don't think we can discuss things in depth if we don't talk about what actually happens in the story. But with all that said, let's go into the questions. The first question that Rainier asked was, what do you make of the relationships between Livy and Sarah and Cheyenne with Essex? And is there love between those characters possible? So Livy and Sarah, first of all, they came together in a very traumatic moment in Livy's life, especially because they met when Livy was raped and then she was seeking help, medical help, but also she didn't have a place to stay, she didn't have food, and Sarah helps her, and that's the basis of the relationship. And I think that the basis of that relationship is on kindness, and they seem happy together. So I think there is love in that relationship, and there will be love in that relationship in the future. I'm not sure if when the book ends that relationship is that strong yet, just because it has not been that long since they started, but I think that there will be strong love between these two characters. On the other hand, between Cheyenne and Essex, it's a lot more complicated, because Essex came into the family when he was around 17, because his family was having a lot of issues, and so Christine sort of adopts him as a third son. So Cheyenne and Essex are sort of step siblings in that sense, and Cheyenne has always made clear that she didn't have feelings for Essex, although Essex seems to have feelings for Cheyenne. But there is love between them, not romantic love. I think they have, at least Essex has romantic love. I think Cheyenne has more of a fraternal love, but then everything gets complicated when Essex goes into the Navy and he offers to marry Cheyenne so that she can have all the benefits from him being in the Navy, and he's clear that he doesn't expect her to be an actual wife, and Cheyenne accepts, so they are married, but it's not a real marriage, let's say. But then they do have sex in between, and that complicates that even more, because then Essex thinks that maybe they can actually be a couple, like an actual married couple. So I think that whereas Livy's and Sarah's relationship starts with trauma and kindness, I think that Cheyenne and Essex, the romantic side of it, starts with not exactly misunderstanding, but misinterpretations and things that are left unsaid in a way. And I don't think that's a very good basis for love. I also think that Livy is a lot more grounded as a person than Cheyenne is. So I think that whereas I think Livy and Sarah could work as a couple for a longer amount of time, I'm not sure Cheyenne and Essex can do that. I think there is too much baggage and there is too many misinterpretations. So yeah, that's my take on that. The second question that he asked was, how do you think is the future life for Livy, Cheyenne, and Essex? And that's an interesting question, because one of the main points of this book is that these three siblings grow up poor and they struggle. And in the book they are in their 30s, I think they're 32, 33, and it seems like they have nothing figured out. So in that sense it feels like they would have a hard life, and especially because this novel focuses a lot on the illusion of the American dream, that it's not really attainable for many people if they are poor. And it doesn't talk about politics at its core, but it does talk about social issues that should be addressed by politics. But it doesn't talk about the next election, for example. So in that sense, I think that the point that Vanessa Veselka is making is that the politics, if it's Democratic or Republican, do not matter so much at the end, because the soul of the United States, it's where it lies, that the problem with these social issues that they are dealing with, poverty, with misogynistic characters, that is, it might change slowly with the political action, but it does not really affect it that much if Trump is there or Biden is there, let's say. So I think that they would still struggle in the future. These three characters, I think they will still struggle. I think that Livy seems to me the most grounded of the three, and even though she's having issues, because of course she used to work in boats and ships, but now, because she has been raped, probably she has a trauma and she doesn't want to go back to that, but she still has Sarah, who is a grounding presence, and she still has a set of skills that will let her live a comfortable enough life. I think that on the other hand, Cheyenne and Essex are more are not as sure of themselves. I think in this book Cheyenne does grow up a lot, in the sense that she finds her identity and she discovers things about their mother that might make her look at things a different way. Because I think before, at the beginning of the book, Cheyenne was so sure that the reason why she was struggling with her life was because Christine was not really her mother. But then when she decides to look for the mother that she actually had, she discovers that that doesn't actually matter that much. And Christine, she eventually goes back to Christine, who is the adoptive mother, because she realizes that a mother is not only the person that gave birth to you. So in that sense, she's really finding her grounding and her steps, but she still has to figure out what she wants to do with that and how she wants to live her life based on those realizations. And I think it's going to be quite hard for her to find out what she wants to do. And then Essex, he joined the military, not because he had this great dream of serving the country, but simply because he needed money and he needed the health insurance and so on that the military gives the people that work for them. So that's why he joined. And I don't think he is very comfortable in the military. I don't think that his spirit fits in the military. But the practical benefits of it are enough for him to do that. And I think that he is doing the final sacrifice for his family that took him when he had nothing. And he's crushing his spirit by joining the military and staying in the military, so that his family can have the benefits of health insurance and other things that the military gives to their workers. So yeah, I think it's kind of a sad way to live for Essex, but I think that it represents him quite well. Actually, I think that he's very thankful for what he has, even if he doesn't have a lot, because he came from nothing. So, and he is generous, so he wants to give back, but in that generosity he forgets to live his life and himself. So yeah, and of course I would like to see that the politics of the US do make the lives of these people better. And since election days, the day that this is going up, I am hoping that the results go in that direction. As Rainier said, that he thought this was a political novel. For me, it's more of a novel that highlights social issues that should be addressed by politicians. I agree it is very relevant for politics. I am not sure if Vanessa Veselka was trying to make a political statement by it, or simply social commentary that of course connects very tightly with politics. But yeah, I'm digressing, so let's go to the third question. And the third question is there any topic in the book that you think Vanessa Veselka wanted to give us as a central topic? And I think that simply the central topic is the American dream and the US as a country and all the different aspects of it. It gives the good and the bad. I think that it gives the ambition and the beauty and the resourcefulness of the US, but it also gives the poverty and the, in my opinion, the messed up systems that make people poor and make sure that those people stay poor. Like, it's very difficult for a person to advance in life if any day you can get cancer, and then you cannot, first of all, you cannot go to the doctor on time to be cured because you don't have the money, and then you have to indebt yourself by ridiculous amounts to be able to have any kind of treatment. So I think that this novel, it has that contradiction at its core, the contradiction of all the things that are wrong socially with the US and all the social issues that there are there, but at the same time it's not a bleak one-sided story. It also gives you the good things. It also gives you the beautiful landscapes. It also gives you like the smaller characters, like this guy that went there and built a castle for himself. That kind of entrepreneurship spirit is there too. So I think it makes a balance out of that picture of the US. But yeah, those are some of my thoughts on Rainier's questions. I hope you enjoyed, and if you have read the book, let me know what you thought about it. And what you thought about my questions. Do you have other opinions? Let me know. And until next video, bye!